Hello, and welcome to V-Secrets. Tonight, we'll explore our incredible home galaxy, the Milky Way. Whether you're here to relax, fall asleep, or simply satisfy your curiosity about the cosmos, you're in the right place. So, get comfortable, take a slow, deep breath, and let's begin our peaceful journey through space. Fact 1. What is the Milky Way? Imagine looking up at the night sky, far away from the bright lights of a city. On a clear evening, you might notice a soft glowing band stretching across the heavens. For thousands of years, people from many different cultures admired this mysterious river of light. Long before telescopes existed, they created stories to explain its beauty. Today, we know that this glowing band is our home galaxy, the Milky Way. A galaxy is an enormous collection of stars, planets, gas, dust, and invisible dark matter, all held together by gravity. The Milky Way is home to our solar system and an estimated 100 to 400 billion stars. It has existed for more than 13 billion years, making it one of the oldest structures in the universe. If you could travel far beyond our galaxy and look back toward it, you would see a magnificent spiral shape with graceful arms wrapped around a bright central bulge. But because we live inside the Milky Way, we cannot see its full shape directly. It is much like trying to understand the shape of a vast forest while standing among its trees. Our Sun is just one ordinary star, quietly orbiting the galactic center about 26,000 light-years away. It completes one journey around the Milky Way roughly every 230 million years. This incredible voyage is known as a cosmic year. The galaxy itself is so immense that even light, traveling at nearly 300,000 kilometers every second, needs about 100,000 years to cross from one side to the other. Every bright star you can see with your own eyes belongs to the Milky Way. Many of those stars have planets. Some may have moons, oceans, or perhaps even forms of life that humanity has yet to discover. Although we have explored only a tiny corner of our home galaxy, every new telescope reveals another breathtaking piece of its story. As you imagine the Milky Way slowly turning through the silent darkness of space, filled with countless stars shining together, allow your breathing to become slower, your thoughts to grow quieter, and let our peaceful journey through the universe continue. Fact 2. The future collision with Andromeda. Now let us look far into the future, toward an event that will reshape our home galaxy. The Milky Way is not standing still. Neither is our nearest large galactic neighbor, the Andromeda Galaxy. Right now, Andromeda is slowly moving toward us at a speed of about 110 kilometers every second. Although that may sound incredibly fast, the distance between our galaxies is so enormous that the collision will not happen for another 4 to 5 billion years. When that day finally arrives, it will not resemble the violent crashes we see here on Earth. Galaxies are mostly empty space. The average distance between stars is so vast that very few, if any, stars are expected to collide directly. Instead, gravity will gently pull the two galaxies together. Their beautiful spiral arms will begin to stretch, twist, and slowly merge over millions of years. Enormous clouds of gas and dust will collide, triggering the birth of countless new stars. The night sky, if anyone is there to witness it, will become even more breathtaking than it is today. As the galaxies continue their graceful cosmic dance, they will gradually lose their familiar spiral shapes. Eventually, the Milky Way and Andromeda are expected to become one enormous elliptical galaxy. Some astronomers have even given this future galaxy a nickname, Milkomeda. By the time this incredible event begins, our own sun will be approaching the end of its life. Humanity, if it still exists, may be living on distant worlds far beyond our solar system. Perhaps our descendants will witness one of the greatest transformations in the history of the local universe. For now, however, the Milky Way and Andromeda continue their slow journey toward one another, a peaceful dance that has already lasted billions of years, and will continue long after our own lifetime has passed. As you imagine these two magnificent galaxies drifting silently through the darkness, moving ever closer with unimaginable patience, allow your thoughts to float peacefully among the stars, where even the grandest events unfold with quiet elegance. Fact 3. How many stars are in the Milky Way? Now, let us return to the present and imagine the sheer scale of our home galaxy. One of the most fascinating questions astronomers have asked is surprisingly simple. How many stars are actually inside the Milky Way? The answer is almost impossible to imagine. Scientists estimate that our galaxy contains between 100 billion and 400 billion stars. No one knows the exact number. New stars are constantly being born inside giant clouds of gas, while others quietly fade away after billions of years. Our own sun is just one ordinary star among this unimaginable population. If you tried to count one star every second without ever stopping, it would take thousands of years just to reach 100 billion. And even then, you still would not have counted every star in the Milky Way. Many of these stars are far larger than our sun. Others are tiny red dwarfs that shine so faintly they can barely be detected. Some exist alone, while others travel through space with one or more stellar companions. Around many of these stars, astronomers have already discovered planets. Thousands of distant worlds have been confirmed, and scientists believe billions more are still waiting to be found. Some of those planets may have oceans, some may have thick atmospheres, and somewhere among those countless worlds, life may have quietly emerged. Looking up at the night sky, we see only a tiny fraction of the stars that truly exist. Most remain hidden behind clouds of cosmic dust or are simply too distant for our eyes to detect. Yet together they form the magnificent galaxy that has been our home for billions of years. As you picture hundreds of billions of stars glowing softly across the Milky Way, each with its own story, its own planets, and perhaps its own mysteries. Allow your imagination to drift peacefully through the endless sea of starlight. Fact 4. Our solar system's place in the Milky Way. Now let us discover exactly where we are within our vast home galaxy. When we look up at the night sky, it is easy to imagine that Earth sits somewhere near the center of everything. But the truth is far more humbling. Our solar system is not located at the center of the Milky Way. In fact, we live far out in one of its smaller spiral arms, known as the Orion Arm, nestled between two much larger spiral arms. Our sun is approximately 26,000 light-years from the galactic center. That may sound like an incredible distance, because it truly is. Even if a spacecraft could travel at the speed of light, it would still need 26,000 years to reach the center of our galaxy. As the sun moves through space, it carries every planet with it. Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, and every other world in our solar system are all traveling together on the same incredible journey. We are not standing still. At this very moment, our solar system is orbiting the center of the Milky Way at nearly 800,000 kilometers per hour. Despite this astonishing speed, we feel nothing at all. The motion is smooth and continuous, just as passengers on a gently flying airplane rarely notice its tremendous speed. Completing a single orbit around the galaxy takes approximately 230 million years. When dinosaurs walked across Earth, our solar system was in a completely different part of the Milky Way. Since then, it has traveled hundreds of trillions of kilometers through the silent darkness of space. Every moment of our lives takes place aboard this tiny world, quietly circling an ordinary star within one small corner of an unimaginably vast galaxy. As you picture our solar system gently sailing through the Milky Way, surrounded by countless distant stars, allow your thoughts to drift peacefully with our endless cosmic voyage through the quiet beauty of the universe. Fact 5. Sagittarius, a star now. Let us travel toward the very heart of our galaxy. Hidden behind enormous clouds of gas and cosmic dust, far beyond the reach of ordinary eyes, lies the mysterious center of the Milky Way. There, astronomers have discovered an invisible giant known as Sagittarius A star, often pronounced Sagittarius A star. Although it cannot be seen directly, scientists know it exists because of the stars that orbit around it. For decades, powerful telescopes have carefully tracked these stars as they race through space at incredible speeds. One particular star, known as S2, completes an orbit around Sagittarius A star in just 16 years. Its extraordinary motion provided some of the strongest evidence that a supermassive black hole truly exists at the center of our galaxy. Sagittarius A star contains approximately 4 million times the mass of our Sun. Yet despite its enormous mass, it occupies a surprisingly small region of space. Unlike the active black holes found in some distant galaxies, Sagittarius A star is relatively quiet. It is not constantly consuming nearby stars or producing enormous jets of energy. Instead, it rests peacefully, while billions of stars slowly orbit around it, guided by its invisible gravity. In 2022, astronomers achieved another historic milestone. Using the Event Horizon Telescope, they revealed the first image of Sagittarius A star. The glowing ring surrounding its dark shadow became humanity's first direct glimpse of the hidden heart of our own galaxy. Fortunately, Sagittarius A star is located about 26,000 light-years away from Earth. At that immense distance, it poses no danger to our solar system. Instead, it quietly reminds us that even the most mysterious objects in the universe can exist peacefully for billions of years. As you imagine the silent giant resting at the center of the Milky Way, surrounded by countless stars moving in graceful orbits, allow your thoughts to drift gently toward the hidden heart of our galaxy, where one of the universe's greatest mysteries patiently waits in the darkness. Fact 6. Can you see the Milky Way? Now let us answer a simple but fascinating question. Can you actually see the Milky Way with your own eyes? The answer is yes, but only under the right conditions, far away from the bright lights of cities, where the night sky remains dark and clear. The Milky Way appears as a soft, glowing river stretching across the heavens. For thousands of years, people admired this beautiful band of light without knowing what it truly was. Some believed it was a heavenly path. Others imagined it as a river flowing across the sky. Today, we understand that this pale glow is created by the combined light of billions of distant stars. From Earth, we are looking through the dense disk of our own galaxy. The countless stars are so far away that their light blends together into a faint, mist-like band. On nights with little moonlight, the view becomes even more spectacular. The Milky Way arches gracefully from one horizon to the other, filling the sky with quiet beauty. Unfortunately, many people living in large cities never have the chance to see it. Artificial lights brighten the night sky, hiding the faint glow of distant stars. This phenomenon is known as light pollution. Because of it, nearly 1/3 of humanity can no longer see the Milky Way from where they live. Fortunately, there are still many places on Earth where the galaxy shines brilliantly. Remote deserts, high mountain ranges, isolated islands, and protected dark sky parks offer breathtaking views of our home galaxy. Standing beneath such a sky can be a truly unforgettable experience. It reminds us how small we are and how wonderfully vast the universe truly is. As you imagine yourself beneath a perfectly dark sky, watching the Milky Way stretch silently overhead, allow your breathing to slow, your mind to become peaceful, and let the gentle light of billions of distant stars guide you deeper into the night. Fact 7. The galactic halo. Now let us travel beyond the bright spiral arms of the Milky Way to a place few people ever think about. Surrounding our galaxy is a vast and mysterious region known as the galactic halo. Unlike the brilliant disk of the Milky Way, the halo is almost invisible. It contains only a small number of stars, along with ancient globular clusters, hot clouds of gas, and an enormous amount of dark matter. The halo extends far beyond the visible edge of our galaxy. In fact, astronomers believe it stretches for hundreds of thousands of light years into space. If you could somehow leave the Milky Way and look back from a great distance, you would not only see its glowing spiral arms, you would also find this enormous ghostly halo surrounding it like an invisible sphere. One of the most fascinating features of the galactic halo is its age. Many of the stars found there are among the oldest in the Milky Way. Some formed more than 12 billion years ago, not long after the universe itself came into existence. They are like living fossils, preserving clues about the earliest history of our galaxy. The halo is also home to dozens of globular clusters. Each cluster contains hundreds of thousands of ancient stars packed closely together. These remarkable stellar families slowly orbit the Milky Way, completing their journeys over hundreds of millions of years. Perhaps the greatest mystery of the galactic halo is something we cannot see at all. Astronomers believe it contains a vast ocean of dark matter. Although invisible, this mysterious substance provides much of the gravity needed to hold the Milky Way together. Without it, our galaxy might never have formed the way it did. Even today, scientists continue searching for answers hidden within the galactic halo. Every new discovery helps reveal another chapter in the story of our cosmic home. As you imagine the Milky Way surrounded by its silent, invisible halo, stretching far into the endless darkness, allow your thoughts to drift peacefully beyond the stars, into the quiet mysteries that surround our galaxy. Fact 8. The oldest stars. Now let us travel back to the earliest days of our galaxy, long before the Sun, long before Earth, and long before life began. Scattered throughout the Milky Way are ancient stars that have been shining for more than 12 billion years. These remarkable stars were born when the universe was still very young. Some formed only a few 100 million years after the Big Bang. They have survived almost the entire history of the cosmos. Astronomers often refer to them as stellar fossils. Just as ancient fossils reveal the history of life on Earth, these old stars preserve clues about the earliest chapters of our galaxy. Many of them contain very few heavy elements. This is because when they were born, the universe had not yet produced large amounts of elements such as iron, gold, or carbon. Those elements would only appear later, created inside generations of massive stars and released during powerful supernova explosions. By studying these ancient stars, scientists can better understand how the Milky Way first formed and evolved. Some of the oldest stars are found within globular clusters, where hundreds of thousands of stars have remained together for billions of years. Others quietly travel alone through the galactic halo, carrying their ancient stories across the universe. It is astonishing to imagine that while dinosaurs appeared and disappeared, while continents slowly drifted across Earth, and while humanity learned to gaze at the stars, these ancient suns continued shining without interruption. They have witnessed nearly the entire lifetime of our galaxy. Even today, astronomers continue searching for older and older stars, hoping they will reveal secrets from the dawn of cosmic history. Every discovery brings us one step closer to understanding where our galaxy, and perhaps we ourselves, truly came from. As you imagine these ancient stars quietly glowing through billions of years, unchanged by the passing of civilizations, allow your thoughts to drift peacefully into the distant past, where the first lights of the Milky Way still shine across the endless universe. Fact 9. Spiral arms. Now let us take a closer look at one of the Milky Way's most beautiful features, its spiral arms. If you could see our galaxy from far above, you would notice graceful streams of stars curving outward from its bright central core. These magnificent structures are known as spiral arms. They give the Milky Way its elegant spiral shape and are home to many of the galaxy's youngest and brightest stars. Unlike the solid arms of a spinning pinwheel, spiral arms are not fixed structures. Instead, they are regions where stars, gas, and dust become more densely packed as they move around the galactic center. You can imagine them as gentle cosmic traffic jams. As clouds of gas drift into these crowded regions, they slow down and become compressed. This compression often triggers the birth of new stars. For this reason, spiral arms are filled with glowing nebulae, brilliant star clusters, and massive young stars that shine with incredible brightness. Our own solar system happens to live within one of the Milky Way's smaller spiral arms, giving us a peaceful place to call home. The larger spiral arms stretch across tens of thousands of light years, creating breathtaking patterns visible from far beyond the galaxy. Although we cannot photograph the Milky Way from the outside, astronomers have carefully mapped its spiral structure using radio telescopes, infrared observatories, and the movements of millions of stars. With every new observation, the picture becomes a little clearer. The spiral arms are constantly changing over millions of years. Stars slowly drift in and out of them, while new generations of stars continue to form from enormous clouds of gas and dust. In this way, the Milky Way is not a frozen object. It is a living, evolving galaxy, always changing while quietly spinning through the universe. as you imagine the graceful spiral arms of our galaxy, slowly turning beneath countless distant stars. Allow your thoughts to follow their gentle curves through the peaceful beauty of the endless cosmos. Fact 10. Black holes inside the Milky Way. Let us discover the hidden giants quietly scattered throughout our own galaxy. When most people think of black holes, they imagine a single enormous object at the center of the Milky Way. But the truth is even more fascinating. Astronomers believe our galaxy may contain millions of black holes. Most of them were born when massive stars reached the ends of their lives. After exhausting their nuclear fuel, these giant stars collapsed under their own gravity, leaving behind invisible objects with gravity so powerful that not even light could escape. Unlike stars, black holes produce no visible light. They quietly drift through the galaxy, almost impossible to detect. So how do scientists find them? The answer lies in their invisible influence. Sometimes a black hole has a nearby companion star. As the black hole's gravity slowly pulls gas away from its companion, the gas spirals inward, forming a brilliant accretion disk. This glowing material becomes incredibly hot, producing powerful X-rays that space telescopes can detect. In other cases, astronomers discover black holes by watching the motion of nearby stars. If a star appears to orbit an invisible object, it often reveals the presence of a hidden black hole. The Milky Way is likely filled with these silent travelers. Some wander alone through the darkness. Others quietly orbit companion stars for billions of years. Although this may sound frightening, there is no reason to worry. The nearest known black holes are thousands of light years away, far beyond our solar system. They continue their peaceful journeys without affecting life on Earth. Every new discovery reminds us that our galaxy contains far more hidden wonders than we can see with our own eyes. As you imagine countless invisible black holes drifting silently between the stars, hidden within the vast darkness of the Milky Way, allow your thoughts to wander peacefully through our galaxy, where even the unseen has a story waiting to be discovered. Fact 11. The shape of the Milky Way. Let us imagine seeing our galaxy from a place no human has ever been, far beyond the edge of the Milky Way, millions of light years into deep space. From there, our home would appear as a magnificent barred spiral galaxy. At its center lies a bright, elongated bar of ancient stars. From each end of this bar, graceful spiral arms stretch outward like glowing rivers of light, wrapping around the galaxy in elegant curves. Astronomers believe the Milky Way measures about 100,000 light-years across. Its disk is surprisingly thin compared to its enormous width, giving it the appearance of a giant cosmic pancake floating through space. Although it looks peaceful from afar, the galaxy is constantly in motion. Every star, every cloud of gas, and every planet follows its own orbit around the galactic center. Nothing stands still. For centuries, humans had no idea what shape the Milky Way truly had. Because we live inside it, observing its full structure is extremely difficult. It is much like trying to understand the shape of a giant forest while standing among its trees. Only through decades of observations using radio telescopes, infrared astronomy, and space missions have scientists gradually revealed the Milky Way's remarkable form. Even today, astronomers continue refining their maps. With every new discovery, our understanding of the galaxy becomes clearer. Yet many regions remain hidden behind thick clouds of interstellar dust, keeping some of the Milky Way's greatest secrets safely concealed. Perhaps future generations will finally see our galaxy exactly as it truly is. Until then, we continue piecing together its beautiful shape, one observation at a time, as you imagine the Milky Way gently spinning through the darkness, its glowing spiral arms stretching across the universe. Allow your thoughts to drift peacefully around our galactic home, where every star is part of a timeless cosmic masterpiece. Fact 12. Giant molecular clouds. Now let us visit the quiet nurseries where new stars are born. Scattered throughout the Milky Way are enormous clouds made mostly of hydrogen gas, along with traces of helium and tiny grains of cosmic dust. These vast regions are known as giant molecular clouds. Some stretch across hundreds of light years and contain enough material to create hundreds of thousands of stars. Although they appear calm from a distance, they are constantly changing. Inside these cold, dark clouds, gravity slowly pulls gas and dust together. Over millions of years, dense pockets begin to form. As they grow heavier, their centers become hotter and hotter. Eventually, the temperature becomes so extreme that nuclear fusion begins. At that very moment, a new star is born. Many of the stars we see in the night sky, including our own sun, began their lives inside giant molecular clouds billions of years ago. Even today, these stellar nurseries continue creating new generations of stars throughout the Milky Way. Some of the most famous examples include the Orion Molecular Cloud and the Eagle Nebula, where spectacular pillars of gas hide newborn stars deep within their dusty interiors. Powerful space telescopes, such as the James Webb Space Telescope, have revealed these regions in extraordinary detail. Their images show glowing clouds, delicate filaments of gas, and young stars shining through the darkness for the very first time. These breathtaking discoveries remind us that our galaxy is far from quiet. Even now, countless new stars are slowly coming to life across the Milky Way. As you imagine these peaceful clouds drifting silently through space, gently giving birth to new stars, allow your thoughts to become calm and continue your journey through the ever-changing beauty of our home galaxy. Fact 13. The journey around the galaxy. Now let us continue one of the longest journeys imaginable. At this very moment, Earth is moving through space. So is the moon. So is the sun. Together, our entire solar system is quietly traveling around the center of the Milky Way. Although we cannot feel this incredible motion, we are orbiting the galaxy at nearly 800,000 kilometers per hour. That is fast enough to travel around Earth many times in only a single hour. Yet compared to the size of the Milky Way, our journey is remarkably slow. Completing just one orbit around the galaxy takes approximately 230 million years. Astronomers call this enormous period of time a galactic year, or sometimes a cosmic year. To put this into perspective, when the dinosaurs first appeared on Earth, our solar system was located in a completely different region of the Milky Way. Since then, we have traveled through spiral arms, past glowing nebulae, and alongside countless neighboring stars. Even today, our journey continues without pause. Every second, the sun carries Earth farther along its endless path through the galaxy. As our solar system travels, the Milky Way itself is also moving through space. And beyond that, our entire local group of galaxies is drifting across the universe. Nothing in the cosmos is truly standing still. Everything is part of an endless dance guided by gravity. It is a quiet reminder that our home is not fixed. We are all passengers aboard a tiny blue planet, circling an ordinary star that is itself circling the heart of a magnificent galaxy. As you imagine our solar system gently sailing through the Milky Way, crossing rivers of stars over hundreds of millions of years, allow your thoughts to drift peacefully with this timeless voyage through the endless beauty of the universe. Fact 14. Globular clusters. Now let us visit some of the oldest and most beautiful neighborhoods in our galaxy. Far above and below the Milky Way's bright disk, hundreds of thousands of ancient stars gather into enormous spherical families. These remarkable structures are known as globular clusters. Unlike the loose star clusters found within the spiral arms, globular clusters are tightly packed. Some contain more than 1 million stars, all bound together by gravity. From a distance, they resemble glowing celestial jewels floating in the darkness of space. Most globular clusters formed more than 12 billion years ago. That means they are almost as old as the Milky Way itself. Many of the stars inside these clusters were already shining long before our sun was born. They have quietly witnessed nearly the entire history of our galaxy. Astronomers have discovered more than 150 globular clusters orbiting the Milky Way. Each one follows a slow, graceful path through the galactic halo, taking millions of years to complete a single orbit. Because these clusters are so ancient, they provide valuable clues about how our galaxy first formed. By studying their stars, scientists can estimate the age of the Milky Way and better understand the conditions that existed shortly after the universe began. Some globular clusters are even visible through small telescopes from Earth. One of the most famous is Omega Centauri, the largest known globular cluster in our galaxy. It contains millions of stars packed into a region only a fraction of the size of the Milky Way. Standing inside such a cluster would create a breathtaking sight. The night sky would be filled with thousands of brilliant stars, shining far brighter than the sky we see from Earth. As you imagine these ancient spheres of starlight, quietly orbiting the Milky Way for billions of years, allow your thoughts to drift peacefully among their timeless beauty, where every star carries a story older than our own world. Fact 15. Dark matter in the Milky Way. Now let us explore one of the greatest mysteries hidden within our galaxy, everything we have seen so far. The stars, the planets, the glowing nebulae, and the clouds of gas make up only a small fraction of the Milky Way. The rest is something we cannot see. Astronomers call it dark matter. Unlike ordinary matter, dark matter does not shine. It does not reflect light. It does not absorb light. In fact, it appears to be completely invisible. So how do scientists know it exists? The answer comes from gravity. As astronomers studied the motion of stars throughout the Milky Way, they noticed something unexpected. Stars near the outer edges of the galaxy were moving much faster than they should have been. According to everything we could see, those stars should have drifted away into deep space long ago. But they did not. Something unseen was holding the galaxy together. That invisible force became one of the strongest pieces of evidence for dark matter. Today, scientists believe dark matter forms an enormous halo surrounding the Milky Way. This hidden structure may contain far more mass than all of the visible stars combined. Without it, our galaxy might never have developed its beautiful spiral shape. Yet despite decades of research, no one knows exactly what dark matter truly is. Some scientists believe it is made of particles that have never been discovered. Others think it may reveal entirely new laws of physics waiting to be understood. Powerful observatories around the world continue searching for clues. Every experiment brings us a little closer to solving one of the universe's greatest mysteries. Perhaps one day, humanity will finally discover the invisible substance that quietly shapes galaxies across the cosmos. As you imagine the Milky Way surrounded by an unseen ocean of dark matter, gently holding billions of stars together, allow your thoughts to drift peacefully through the invisible side of the universe, where some of its greatest secrets remain hidden in silence. Fact 16. The Orion Arm. Now let us visit the small corner of the Milky Way that we call home. The Milky Way contains several magnificent spiral arms stretching across tens of thousands of light years. Yet our solar system does not live within one of the largest arms. Instead, we reside inside a smaller region known as the Orion Arm, sometimes called the Orion Spur. Although it is modest in size, the Orion Arm is an extraordinary place. It is here that our sun was born about 4.5 billion years ago. Since then, Earth and the other planets have quietly traveled through this peaceful neighborhood, completing only a small part of a single orbit around the Milky Way. The Orion Arm stretches for thousands of light years and contains countless stars, glowing nebulae, and young star clusters. Some of the most familiar constellations we see from Earth, including Orion and Cygnus, point toward regions filled with these nearby stellar wonders. One of the Orion Arm's greatest treasures is the Orion Nebula. Located about 1,300 light-years away, it is one of the closest and most active star-forming regions to Earth. Inside this glowing cloud, thousands of young stars are slowly coming to life. Astronomers often describe it as a cosmic nursery, where the next generation of stars is quietly being born. Compared with the vast size of the Milky Way, our place in the Orion Arm is quite ordinary. There is nothing especially unique about our location. Yet within this small corner of the galaxy, life emerged on a tiny blue planet that eventually learned to look back toward the stars. Perhaps somewhere else within the Orion Arm, another world is doing the very same thing. As you imagine our solar system peacefully drifting through the Orion Arm, surrounded by countless neighboring stars, allow your thoughts to wander through our quiet corner of the Milky Way, where our own story began among the endless lights of the galaxy. Fact 17. The Galactic Center. Now let us continue our journey toward the brightest and most mysterious region of the Milky Way. At the very center of our galaxy lies a place unlike any other. Known simply as the galactic center, this region is packed with millions of stars crowded into an area much smaller than the neighborhoods surrounding our sun. If you could stand there, the night sky would never become truly dark. Brilliant stars would shine in every direction, filling the heavens with an endless sea of light. Yet despite its incredible beauty, the galactic center remains hidden from our eyes. Between Earth and the center of the Milky Way lie enormous clouds of gas and cosmic dust. These clouds block visible light, making the region almost impossible to observe with ordinary telescopes. Fortunately, modern astronomy has found another way. Using infrared and radio telescopes, scientists can see through much of the dust, revealing the remarkable activity taking place deep within our galaxy. There, stars orbit at astonishing speeds around the invisible supermassive black hole known as Sagittarius A star. Massive clouds of gas twist through space. Young stars are born while older stars quietly reach the ends of their lives. The galactic center is one of the busiest and most energetic places in the Milky Way. Despite its constant activity, it remains unimaginably far away. Light from the galactic center takes about 26,000 years to reach Earth. Every image we see today is actually a glimpse into the distant past. As technology continues to improve, astronomers are uncovering more of this hidden region than ever before. Each new discovery brings us closer to understanding the heart of our home galaxy. As you imagine the brilliant center of the Milky Way, glowing softly behind curtains of cosmic dust, allow your thoughts to drift peacefully toward the heart of our galaxy, where countless stars quietly dance around an invisible giant. Fact 18. Star formation. Now let us witness one of the most beautiful events in our galaxy, the birth of a star. Although the night sky often seems peaceful and unchanging, the Milky Way is constantly creating new stars. Deep inside enormous clouds of cold gas and dust, gravity quietly begins its work. Over millions of years, tiny regions within these clouds slowly gather more and more material. As they become denser, gravity pulls everything inward. The pressure grows stronger. The temperature rises higher. Eventually, the center becomes so hot that hydrogen atoms begin to fuse together. At that extraordinary moment, a new star is born. Its first light shines into the surrounding darkness, marking the beginning of a journey that may last billions of years. Some newborn stars will remain small and peaceful, like red dwarfs, quietly glowing for trillions of years. Others will become massive blue giants, burning brightly before ending their lives in spectacular supernova explosions. Our own sun experienced this very process approximately 4.5 billion years ago. The gas and dust that once surrounded the young sun gradually formed the planets, moons, asteroids, and comets that make up our solar system today. In a very real sense, every person on Earth owes their existence to an ancient cloud of gas that slowly transformed into a star. Even now, thousands of stellar nurseries continue producing new stars throughout the Milky Way. With the help of the James Webb Space Telescope, astronomers can observe these remarkable regions in greater detail than ever before. Each image reveals glowing clouds, brilliant young stars, and the quiet beauty of creation unfolding across the galaxy. As you imagine a tiny newborn star gently emerging from a cloud of cosmic dust, lighting the darkness for the very first time, allow your thoughts to drift peacefully through the Milky Way, where new beginnings are quietly taking shape every single day. Fact 19. The local group. Now let us leave the Milky Way for a moment and discover the small family of galaxies we call home. Although the Milky Way is unimaginably vast, it is not alone. It belongs to a collection of more than 80 known galaxies known as the local group. These galaxies are all connected by gravity, slowly moving together through the universe. The two largest members are the Milky Way and the Andromeda Galaxy. The third largest is the Triangulum Galaxy, a beautiful spiral galaxy located about 3 million light-years from Earth. Surrounding these three giants are dozens of much smaller dwarf galaxies. Some quietly orbit the Milky Way. Others travel around Andromeda. Each follows its own gentle path through space, guided by gravity over billions of years. The local group itself stretches across roughly 10 million light-years. That may sound enormous, yet it is only a tiny neighborhood within the observable universe. Beyond it lie thousands of other galaxy groups, immense galaxy clusters, and gigantic superclusters that continue farther than we can easily imagine. Even our local group is not standing still. It is slowly moving toward an even larger collection of galaxies known as the Virgo cluster. Together, these enormous structures are part of the vast cosmic web, where galaxies form giant filaments stretching across the universe. Looking at this incredible scale reminds us how small our place truly is. Earth is only one planet, orbiting one ordinary star, inside one galaxy, within one small group among billions of galaxies spread throughout the cosmos. Yet from this tiny corner of the universe, humanity has learned to observe the stars and understand the remarkable place we call home. As you imagine the Milky Way quietly drifting alongside its neighboring galaxies through the endless darkness of space, allow your thoughts to float peacefully across our cosmic neighborhood, where every galaxy shares the same silent journey through the universe. Fact 20. Open star clusters. Now let us visit one of the youngest and most beautiful gatherings of stars in the Milky Way. Unlike the ancient globular clusters we explored earlier, open star clusters are much younger. They are groups of stars born together from the very same giant molecular cloud. Because they formed at nearly the same time, these stars are like cosmic brothers and sisters, sharing a common origin. Most open clusters contain anywhere from a few dozen to several thousand stars. They are loosely bound by gravity, allowing them to slowly drift apart over hundreds of millions of years. Eventually, many of their stars scatter throughout the Milky Way, becoming part of the galaxy's vast stellar population. One of the most famous open clusters is the Pleiades, also known as the Seven Sisters. Visible to the naked eye on clear nights, this beautiful cluster has inspired stories and legends in cultures around the world for thousands of years. Another well-known example is the Beehive Cluster, a peaceful collection of stars shining softly within the constellation Cancer. Open clusters are especially important to astronomers. Since all the stars in a cluster form together, scientists can compare them to better understand how stars evolve throughout their lifetimes. These clusters serve as natural laboratories, helping researchers test theories about stellar formation, age, and composition. Many of the brightest blue stars in open clusters are still very young. They burn with incredible energy, illuminating the surrounding gas and dust with brilliant light. Yet even these magnificent stars will one day grow older, just as every star in the universe eventually does. The Sun itself was almost certainly born inside an open star cluster billions of years ago. Over time, gravity slowly separated those sibling stars, sending them on different journeys throughout the Milky Way. Today, they are scattered across the galaxy, their shared origin hidden by billions of years of cosmic travel. As you imagine a peaceful cluster of young stars shining together, slowly beginning their long journeys through the Milky Way, allow your thoughts to drift gently among them, where every star begins its story alongside countless celestial companions. Fact 21. Neutron stars. Now let us meet one of the strangest objects in our galaxy. Not every massive star becomes a black hole. Some end their lives in a different and equally fascinating way. After a powerful supernova explosion, the remaining core of the star may collapse into an object known as a neutron star. Although a neutron star is only about 20 kilometers across, it can contain more mass than our own Sun. Imagine compressing an object as massive as the Sun into a sphere no larger than a city. The result is one of the densest objects in the universe. The gravity on its surface is extraordinary. A single teaspoon of neutron star material would weigh billions of tons on Earth. Inside, atoms can no longer exist in their normal form. The immense pressure forces electrons and protons together, creating an enormous sphere made almost entirely of neutrons. That is how neutron stars receive their name. Many neutron stars spin incredibly fast. Some rotate dozens, hundreds, or even more than 700 times every second. As they spin, powerful beams of radiation sweep across space like the light from a cosmic lighthouse. When those beams point toward Earth, astronomers detect regular pulses of energy. These remarkable objects are called pulsars. Despite their violent birth, neutron stars often spend billions of years quietly traveling through the Milky Way. Some remain alone. Others continue orbiting companion stars, silently moving through the galaxy. Scientists study neutron stars because they allow us to explore matter under conditions that cannot be recreated on Earth. Each new discovery brings us closer to understanding gravity, nuclear physics, and the incredible forces shaping our universe. As you imagine a tiny star no larger than a city, quietly spinning beneath the endless night, allow your thoughts to drift peacefully across the Milky Way, where even the smallest stars can possess unimaginable power. Fact 22. How big is the Milky Way? Now, let us try to imagine the true size of our home galaxy. The Milky Way is so enormous that ordinary numbers begin to lose their meaning. Astronomers estimate that it stretches about 100,000 light-years from one side to the other. A single light-year is the distance that light travels in 1 year. Even moving at nearly 300,000 kilometers every second, light still needs an entire year to cover that incredible distance. Now imagine repeating that journey 100,000 times. That is roughly the diameter of our galaxy. Its thickness is much smaller. The Milky Way's stellar disk measures only about 1,000 light-years from top to bottom, giving it the appearance of a vast thin disk floating through space. Yet surrounding this disk is the enormous galactic halo, extending hundreds of thousands of light-years farther into the darkness. Our own solar system lies about 26,000 light-years from the galactic center. Even at the speed of today's fastest spacecraft, reaching the center would take far longer than human civilization has existed. If the Milky Way were reduced to the size of Earth, our solar system would be smaller than a grain of sand. This comparison reminds us just how tiny our place truly is within the galaxy. And yet, despite its unimaginable scale, the Milky Way is only one galaxy among hundreds of billions, spread across the observable universe. Each one may contain billions of stars, billions of planets, and countless stories still waiting to be discovered. As you imagine the Milky Way stretching across 100,000 light-years, far beyond anything the human mind can easily picture, allow your thoughts to drift peacefully through its endless expanse, where every distant star is another quiet reminder of the universe's incredible scale. Fact 23. Nebulae. Now let us drift into some of the most colorful places in our galaxy. Scattered throughout the Milky Way are enormous clouds of glowing gas and cosmic dust known as nebulae. From a distance, they resemble delicate paintings stretched across the darkness of space. Some shine with brilliant shades of red, blue, and purple. Others appear as dark silhouettes, quietly blocking the light of distant stars behind them. Despite their breathtaking beauty, nebulae are much more than celestial works of art. They are among the most important regions in the galaxy. Many nebulae serve as stellar nurseries, where gravity slowly gathers gas and dust together until new stars are born. Others are the remains of ancient stars that ended their lives in spectacular supernova explosions, sending their material back into space. In this way, nebulae are both places of birth and places of remembrance. One of the most famous is the Orion Nebula. Located about 1,300 light-years from Earth, it is one of the closest star-forming regions to our solar system. Inside its glowing clouds, thousands of young stars are quietly coming to life. Another remarkable example is the Eagle Nebula, home to the famous Pillars of Creation. These towering columns of gas became one of the most iconic images ever captured by the Hubble Space Telescope and were later revealed in breathtaking detail by the James Webb Space Telescope. The atoms inside our own bodies were once part of ancient nebulae. Long before Earth existed, generations of stars created the elements that now make up every living thing. When those stars died, they returned their material to space, allowing new stars, planets, and eventually life itself to form. In a very real sense, we are all connected to these peaceful clouds drifting through the Milky Way. As you imagine a glowing nebula gently floating among countless distant stars, its colorful clouds quietly giving birth to new suns, allow your thoughts to drift peacefully through its timeless beauty, where every ending becomes the beginning of something new. Fact 24. Pulsars. Now let us listen to one of the universe's most reliable cosmic beacons. Earlier, we discovered neutron stars. the incredibly dense remnants of massive stars. Some of these extraordinary objects possess another remarkable characteristic. They spin at astonishing speeds while emitting powerful beams of radio waves, X-rays, or visible light from their magnetic poles. These objects are known as pulsars. As a pulsar rotates, its beams sweep across space like the light from a lighthouse standing beside a dark ocean. If one of those beams happens to point toward Earth, astronomers observe a brief flash of energy, then another and another. These pulses arrive with astonishing precision. Some pulsars are so accurate that they rival the finest atomic clocks ever built. Their steady rhythm allows scientists to measure time with incredible accuracy and to test some of Einstein's most important predictions about gravity. The first pulsar was discovered in 1967 by astronomer Jocelyn Bell Burnell. At first, the perfectly regular signals seemed so unusual that researchers jokingly wondered whether they might have come from intelligent extraterrestrial life. Fortunately, the mystery was soon solved. The signals were coming from a rapidly spinning neutron star. Today, thousands of pulsars have been discovered throughout the Milky Way. Some rotate only once every few seconds. Others, known as millisecond pulsars, spin hundreds of times every single second. Despite their incredible speed, they continue this quiet rhythm for millions of years. Each pulse travels across the galaxy at the speed of light, carrying a silent message through the darkness. Perhaps somewhere far away, another civilization is watching the same gentle flashes, wondering about their mysterious origin. As you imagine a distant pulsar quietly spinning through the Milky Way, sending perfectly timed beams across the endless universe, allow your thoughts to drift peacefully with every silent pulse, echoing through the darkness like the steady heartbeat of the cosmos. Fact 25. The Milky Way at night. Now let us experience one of the most breathtaking sights on Earth. Imagine standing far away from busy cities where the air is clear, the night is quiet, and there are no artificial lights to brighten the sky. As your eyes slowly adjust to the darkness, thousands of stars begin to appear. Then, stretching from one horizon to the other, a soft river of light emerges across the heavens. This is the Milky Way. What appears to be a pale cloud is actually the combined light of billions of distant stars. Each tiny point of light belongs to our home galaxy. Many of them are far larger than our sun. Some have planets of their own. Others may have existed since the earliest days of the universe. For thousands of years, people looked upon the Milky Way with wonder. Ancient civilizations imagined it as a celestial river, a pathway for souls, or a bridge connecting the heavens. Although science has revealed its true nature, its beauty remains just as inspiring today. Unfortunately, many people will never witness the Milky Way with their own eyes. Light pollution from cities hides much of its gentle glow. Across large parts of the world, only the brightest stars remain visible. Yet in remote deserts, high mountain ranges, and protected dark sky parks, the galaxy still reveals its full splendor. Standing beneath such a sky often changes the way people think about the universe. It reminds us that Earth is only one tiny world, quietly traveling through an endless ocean of stars. As you imagine yourself beneath a perfectly dark sky, watching the Milky Way slowly arch above you, allow your breathing to become calm, your mind to grow peaceful, and let the gentle light of billions of distant stars carry you deeper into the quiet beauty of the cosmos. Fact 26. Supernovas. Now let us witness one of the most spectacular events in the Milky Way. Every star has a beginning, and every star has an ending. For the most massive stars, that ending arrives in a truly extraordinary way. After millions of years of shining brightly, a giant star eventually runs out of the fuel that powers its core. Without enough energy to resist gravity, the star begins to collapse under its own immense weight. In only a matter of seconds, the core falls inward at incredible speed. Then, an enormous explosion tears through the star. This breathtaking event is known as a supernova. For a brief period, a single exploding star can outshine an entire galaxy containing billions of stars. The explosion releases unimaginable amounts of energy into space. It also creates many of the heavy elements that make life possible: gold, silver, calcium, iron, and many other elements found within our bodies were forged during ancient supernovas. In a very real sense, every person on Earth carries the remains of long-dead stars. After the explosion, the star leaves behind one final gift. If the original star was massive enough, its core may become a neutron star. If it was even larger, gravity may continue crushing the core until a black hole is born. The expanding cloud of gas from the explosion slowly drifts through the Milky Way. Over millions of years, this material becomes part of new nebulae, new stars, new planets, and perhaps even new forms of life. The universe wastes nothing. Every ending becomes the beginning of another story. As you imagine the gentle glow of an ancient supernova spreading across the galaxy, seeding the cosmos with the building blocks of future worlds, allow your thoughts to drift peacefully through the endless cycle of creation, where every ending quietly becomes a new beginning. Fact 27. Why the Milky Way is called the Milky Way now. Let us discover how our galaxy received its curious name. For thousands of years, people looked up at the glowing band of light stretching across the night sky. Without telescopes or modern science, they could only imagine what it truly was. Many ancient civilizations created beautiful stories to explain its mysterious appearance. The name Milky Way comes from the ancient Romans. They called it Via Lactea, which means the road of milk. This name was inspired by the galaxy's soft white glow, which resembled spilled milk flowing across the heavens. The Romans themselves borrowed the idea from the ancient Greeks. In Greek mythology, the Milky Way was said to have formed when milk from the goddess Hera spread across the sky, creating the glowing river of stars. Other cultures told very different stories. In ancient China, it was known as the Silver River, separating two lovers who could meet only once each year. Some Native American traditions described it as a path traveled by spirits. In parts of Africa, it was seen as a celestial road connecting Earth with the heavens. Although the stories differed, they all shared one thing in common. People everywhere were inspired by the same beautiful sight. Today, science has revealed that the Milky Way is not a river, nor a road, nor a trail of milk. It is the combined light of hundreds of billions of distant stars viewed from inside our own galaxy. Yet knowing the scientific explanation has not taken away its magic. Instead, it has made the universe even more extraordinary. Every time we look up at the Milky Way, we are seeing the same glowing band that inspired countless generations before us. As you imagine people across thousands of years, all gazing at the same peaceful river of stars, allow your thoughts to drift quietly through time, where wonder has always connected humanity with the endless universe. Fact 28. The future of the Milky Way. Now let us travel billions of years into the future to imagine what will become of our home galaxy. Although the Milky Way appears timeless, it is constantly changing. Every day, new stars are born inside glowing nebulae. At the same time, older stars quietly reach the ends of their long lives. Over billions of years, these slow changes gradually reshape the galaxy. The greatest transformation will begin when the Andromeda Galaxy finally arrives. As the two galaxies approach one another, gravity will gently pull their spiral arms apart. Clouds of gas will collide. Millions of new stars will be born. Yet despite the enormous scale of this event, very few stars are expected to crash into each other. The empty space between stars is simply too vast. Instead, the galaxies will slowly dance together over hundreds of millions of years. Eventually, they will merge into one enormous galaxy. Astronomers often call this future galaxy Milkomeda. Its elegant spiral arms may disappear, replaced by the smooth, rounded shape of a giant elliptical galaxy. By then, our sun will be nearing the end of its life. Earth itself may no longer exist as we know it. If humanity is still alive, our descendants may be living around distant stars, watching the merger unfold from entirely different worlds. Far beyond that distant future, star formation will gradually slow. The galaxy will become quieter. The brightest stars will disappear. Only long-lived red dwarfs and the remnants of ancient stars will continue shining in the darkness. Even then, the Milky Way's story will not truly end. It will simply enter another chapter in the endless evolution of the universe. As you imagine our galaxy slowly changing across billions of years, gently merging with another magnificent spiral galaxy, Allow your thoughts to drift peacefully into the distant future, where even the grandest transformations unfold with quiet patience. Fact 29. Why the Milky Way still amazes us now. Let us reflect on everything we have discovered about our remarkable home galaxy. For thousands of years, people looked up at the Milky Way with wonder. At first, it appeared to be nothing more than a faint band of light crossing the night sky. Today, we know it is a magnificent spiral galaxy containing hundreds of billions of stars, countless planets, mysterious black holes, glowing nebulae, and ancient star clusters that have existed for nearly the entire age of the universe. Yet despite everything humanity has learned, the Milky Way still keeps many of its greatest secrets. Astronomers continue searching for new planets that may resemble Earth. They continue studying dark matter, hoping to understand the invisible substance shaping our galaxy. They continue exploring the galactic center, searching for clues about the supermassive black hole hidden deep within its heart. Every year, powerful telescopes reveal discoveries that were once beyond imagination. The James Webb Space Telescope, the Gaia mission, and future observatories will continue mapping the Milky Way with extraordinary precision. Each new observation reminds us that our understanding is still incomplete. Perhaps somewhere among the galaxy's hundreds of billions of stars, another civilization is looking toward the heavens, asking the very same questions. Perhaps they too wonder how their galaxy formed, whether they are alone, and what lies beyond the stars they call home. The Milky Way is more than a collection of stars. It is our cosmic home. It is where every human who has ever lived, every mountain, every ocean, and every dream has existed. And despite its unimaginable size, we have explored only the smallest corner of it. As you imagine our beautiful galaxy slowly turning through the silent darkness, filled with endless mysteries waiting to be discovered, allow your thoughts to drift peacefully among its countless stars, where curiosity has guided humanity for thousands of years. Fact 30. The endless journey through our galaxy. As our peaceful journey through the Milky Way slowly comes to an end, one incredible truth remains. Our home galaxy is far more than a collection of stars. It is a living, evolving universe of its own. For more than 13 billion years, the Milky Way has quietly drifted through the cosmos. Stars have been born, others have faded away. Nebulae have blossomed into brilliant new solar systems. Black holes have silently shaped the motions of countless stars. And through it all, our tiny solar system has continued its peaceful journey around the galactic center. Humanity has explored only the smallest fraction of this magnificent galaxy. Millions of stars remain unseen. Billions of planets are still waiting to be discovered. Countless mysteries continue hiding beyond the reach of our most powerful telescopes. Perhaps somewhere among those distant worlds, another civilization is gazing toward the same night sky, wondering about the universe, just as we do. Every new telescope, every new spacecraft, every new discovery brings us one small step closer to understanding the remarkable galaxy we call home. Yet the Milky Way reminds us that the greatest adventure is not reaching the end, but continuing to explore. Because every answer leads to another question, every discovery reveals another mystery, and every journey opens the door to another. Thank you for joining me on tonight's peaceful journey through the Milky Way. If you enjoyed exploring our home galaxy, please consider leaving a like and subscribing to V Secrets. There are countless more journeys waiting for us, through mysterious black holes, ancient stars, distant galaxies, and the endless wonders of the universe. Until next time, the universe is endless, and so are its secrets. Good night.